Season 1 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And the reason why they call it Season 1 is because it was the first nationally broadcast season. Now, how did it get to national broadcasting in the first place, you ask? Well, KTMA went bankrupt, but they still wanted to do the show. So Jim Mallon formed Best Brains Incorporated to produce the show, and they started shopping the show around with a production reel, and they eventually got the attention of HBO and their comedy channel. Yes, there were comedy channels before Comedy Central. As a matter of fact, the two comedy channels that existed before ended up merging and becoming Comedy Central, but we'll get into that later. But for right now, Mystery Science Theater had a new home. A brand new home for their very first nationally broadcast season, and there would be some changes. I'm DJ Particle. This is Misty Review. Now, as I mentioned, with the move to cable television, there were some changes in the show. For one, they had a little bit more money and could make the sets a little more elaborate, although I do have to admit for Season 1 it was probably a little much on the colorful side. But hey, take it where you can get it, right? And as for where the Mads ended up, well, they ended up in a little place called Deep 13. What is Deep 13? Well, watch these clips and find out.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of
Clay! I think I was spotted on my way down here.
Did you wear your disguise?
I was wearing my disguise, but I'm just not very good in heels.
No one must know we're down here doing this.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I could have sworn there were some sound effects with that. Let's keep going on.
Hey, I noticed you moved. You guys must have got kicked out of Gizmonics Institute for shooting us into space like this, I bet.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. We moved.
It's our grand reopening. Welcome to Deep 13.
Deep 13? Wait a minute, that's in the sub-basement of Gizmonics Institute. I had to clean up a flubber spill once there. It's incredibly radioactive.
But it hasn't affected our brain any.
We like it here. Now we're even closer to the atomic pile.
So I'm ready for this week's Invention Exchange.
Ah, yes, the Invention Exchange. This was a new addition to the show. Now, if you remember, in the old show, sometimes Joel Hodgson would showcase some of his comedy invention props. Well, these invention props became part of the lore of Gizmonics Institute, which was also newly added to the show in this season. And, well, retroactively applied to Season 0. But anyway. Yes, the Invention Exchange. The idea for the Invention Exchange is, yes, Joel was a janitor, but everyone at Gizmonics Institute was a big brain. And the way they greet each other is by exchanging inventions. And this carried through even with Dr. Forrester and his evil plan.
Check this thing out. I just made it. It's the world's only electric bagpipes, all right?
When's the last time you saw a dog sweat? Larry?
Never.
Exactly. And why is that?
Dogs don't sweat. That's why.
Exactly. Because of the dog's pineal gland. Nature's own canine antiperspirant.
Ceylon silverbird.
Now,
Jeez.
instantly, the serum races through the bloodstream like a Porsche Targa 911, commandeering each pore, slamming it shut like the vault at your favorite savings and loan. And, checking the wetness sensors, we see that they are free from wetness and or odor.
Well, I suppose it's time for you guys to start experimenting on us again.
It's a real stink burger of a film this week, Joel. It's called The Crawling Eye.
Oh, it's got a bad audio track, it's in black and white, and worst of all, it stars Forrest Tucker.
Good name, bad actor. I'll put in the tape.
Movie sign!
Again, I could have sworn there were other sound effects there. Hold on. Let me refer back to my old VHS copy of episode 101.
Clay! Clay! I think I was spotted on my way down here.
Movie sign!
Ah, yes, I knew those sound effects were there. It looks like Shout Factory's copy of episode 101 is missing an entire audio track. And we will use the Shout Factory version because, well, it's a clearer copy. But you may notice some sound effects missing, like the movie sign klaxons, the click of the G door, and as you saw here, the rotors of the remote control camera and Dr. Earhart's organ. Yeah, Shout Factory screwed up. Yes, it's been brought to their attention. No, they haven't fixed it yet. But anyway, the movie they watch is The Crawling Eye. And let me tell you something about this movie. You don't see the monster until you're about 3/4 of the way through the movie. Yeah, it's that bad. In the meantime, there's fog, there's heads torn off, but again, we're not here to review the movie, we're here to review the riffing. And going from 0021 to 0101, I have to admit, they went backwards a bit.
Mountain flossing really repels me.
Now, pick it up.
Hey Joel, how are you supposed to read these titles?
Oh, well, Crow, it's simple. You see the line up there?
Uh-huh.
That's, see, there's one there. See?
Oh.
Directed by us. Let's see, Gemini, you'll be attracted to a crawling eye. Leos figure prominently.
I am Mount Svengali. You will do as I say.
Trollenberg, home of the crawling eye. All stops lead to a bloody death.
What a lovely matte painting.
Yes, you're right. I've probably read about it.
In the script.
It's not for me. What do they say, huh?
That's what they say.
Well.
It's not for me.
What do the villagers say, Tresca?
They say, it's not for me.
A mountain's a mountain. Some people can climb it and some can't.
Some people can speak dialogue, some can't.
Look, the all-weather channel.
The search parties go out and always they find nothing. Now why is that?
They're not good search parties?
Where is it? Ah,
It's a cloud of baked beans, I think.
sounds like it, right, Tom?
Sure does.
We have the accidents like before, we have the cloud like before. Why can't it be the
Too
same?
many things missing.
Like a plot.
Mental compulsion.
I've told you about the cloud, I've told you about the accidents. What more do you want?
Facts, proof.
Scotch.
Something that'll look real in black.
Dear Diary, once again the fat guy got the bed.
Come back tomorrow.
And when you shake it, there's a snowstorm.
When you shake it, the heads come off.
Coming towards the door.
Maybe she's not psychic, maybe she's controlling him. If she shuts up, maybe he'll sit down.
It was a bizarre dream, and you were all there.
I don't know what happened.
Fanny Flagg and Groucho and Carl Sagan, and it was a Dick Cavett PBS special. What's that noise?
I think someone's sharpening a pencil or something.
I think it's the electric blanket.
Back up to Trollenberg.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
nice
Real
real
change. These 4 brave men.
Ah!
3 brave men.
Oh!
2 brave men, soon to go down in the annals of history.
Look at that staircase. Would you look at that staircase?
Wow, what a staircase.
Man, what a staircase. Boy, I'm getting winded. How about you, Forrest?
Pants with the legs still in them.
The matte painting is calling you. Go to the window. The hills are alive and it's getting scary. That cloud over there wasn't there before. Whoa, here's the party.
Hi, I'm the curator of the matte painting.
Hey, come and see here, Snell.
Kommen Sie here, schnell. You looked in my bag.
Hey, buddy, it won't get better if you pick at it.
Great, we saw how well they did with the booze. Now let's give them something that's lit.
429 matches exactly. Exactly 429.
Who put this zipper in my head?
I think I'll reach through and get him, Mister.
Hey, Popeye. Oh.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I've got a guy's head in my hand.
I still don't understand how such a...
Wow, unfortunate skin.
Got everything cut up?
Uh-oh.
What about him?
I bet they'll be back for that.
If we only had a ball, a small rubber ball, then we'd be fine.
He thinks that ball's one of his pupils. Oh, sorry. Couldn't
Stop it,
resist.
you're killing me. The Search Encounter. Is there a sequel to this movie?
Yes, the Iger sanction.
No.
Good one. I mean, I don't get this. What's a giant eye gonna do to you anyway? Like pick you up and wink you to death?
Shave and a haircut.
Who is it?
I spy with my little eye
You hypocrite.
something that sounds like a gigantic eye. Long, longer, longest. Beautiful eyelashes that grab people and strangle them.
Kingsford eyeballs. Edges light, quick, burn clean.
Cigarette?
Yes, it is.
Now, 2 of the 3 in-movie host segments did have to do with the movie. And first off, the bots want to wonder, what is the big deal about, getting your head torn off? I mean, after all, it's modular, isn't it? And they also want to know exactly what is scary about a giant eye.
Well, Joel, I can't understand why everybody's so upset about losing their heads. What's so bad about that? I've seen Servo's head on the workbench lots of times.
Yeah, it screws right off. It's a pop top.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's not like that. It's really, human beings are made completely different, you guys. Once our heads are separated from our bodies, that's pretty much the end of the show for us. It's just the way we're made.
Can't you use your backup copy and reboot?
No. Nope, nothing like that.
Well, then why do people say that they're always, like, I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on?
Yeah, and people often say their heads aren't in the right places.
Yeah, and Joel, once I heard the scientists talking, and they said you had your head up your...
Crow, that is just a figure of speech, all right? No, you got it wrong, you see. The eye is what's horrible about this movie. Think about it. Otherwise, it would have been called The Crawling Forrest Tucker.
I guess. Joel, what's so scary about a big eye anyway?
Oh, I see. Well, that's another human being thing. Anytime we're confronted with some appendage of ours that's disconnected and free-roaming, rogue, genetically bloated to 10 times its normal size, we're automatically scared.
I still don't see why it's so scary. You could just walk up to it and throw salt at it.
Or just a squeeze of lemon juice.
Right, I know. It's kind of a plot hole, but let's kind of look it over. You see these giant eyes come from a world that's designed for them, They come down from this planet and they decide to land on a mountain peak.
Which is really stupid, because as we all know, a giant sharp point is the giant eye's natural enemy.
Bingo.
Joel, I think we've already spent more time examining this plot than the writers ever did.
And the one host segment that doesn't really have anything to do in the movie, we're introduced to the new version of Gypsy. And yeah, she's a little more involved, and she's no longer voiced by J. Elvis Weinstein, but rather by series producer Jim Mallon. And let's just say, long Gypsy is long.
Joel, I don't want to be teacher's pet or anything, but Gypsy uncoiled herself again.
She did. Camba, could you widen it out so everybody can see this?
All right.
It's too bad Gypsy's not here, huh?
Yeah.
It's too bad she's going to miss out on those piping hot ram chips. Too bad.
Chips?
Oh, all right. I knew you were around here somewhere. Listen. Now, look, I want to show you this. See this big mess you got all over the place? This is how you look, okay? Now, otherwise, we're going to have exoservice spinal bundle all over the place. The black stuff.
Oh, hey, Joel.
What's that?
I got an itch.
Oh, wonderful. Terrific.
She's got an itch. Okay.
Why am I doing this? I hate being the end man. I scratch here and it takes her 6 hours to feel it in her head.
I know what you mean.
Joel,
Yeah?
I don't want to ask a stupid question, but why'd you make her so big?
Well, you know how it's kind of like when you start connecting paper clips together, you get hooked on it. It's kind of like that.
Oh, my.
What's that, Tom?
Joel, you remember when we were speculating on her sex?
Yeah?
Well, I think I may have narrowed it down here.
Wait. What was that, Servo?
Joel, you remember when we were speculating on her sex?
Yeah?
Well, I think I may have narrowed it down here.
Are they continuing that joke again? Transgender bot. Yeah, it looks like they're continuing that joke again.
Here's the, I think I found the problem. She's jammed in here behind the door.
Hey, don't open that door, McGee.
Happens every time. We got movie signs!
The episode closes off with what would become a staple of the show for most of the first season and even a little bit in the second season, where after they finish watching the movie, Joel asks the bots to name a good thing and a bad thing about the movie in order to receive tasty, tasty ram chips. This is something else new, and like I said, it didn't last too long past the first season. But there is one bot who is not quite up on the idea. But Joel's a big softie.
Ram chips and dip. Yay! And afterwards, a borium power flush. Ooh. I'm just kidding. Yay! Okay, now you know how it works. No, just wait your turn. You'll get a ram chip. Okay, Crow, you go first. Now, tell me a good thing about the movie and the bad thing, and you get your ram chip. Good thing?
The good thing was it wasn't longer.
Okay, and the bad thing?
It was this long.
Okay, there's your ram chip. Okay, Tom Servo.
All right, okay, let's see. The good thing is that we didn't have to watch them clean up the vitreous humor all over from the eyes exploding.
And the bad thing?
Well, the bad thing was, the movie, it was ambitious, but it lacked vision.
Well, hindsight is 20/20.
Tell me a good thing about the movie.
Can I have a ram chip, Joel?
Well, tell me a bad thing about the movie, Gypsy. Oh, you don't know? Okay. Just answer this one question. I'll give you ram chips, okay? What's 2 + 2?
Richard Basehart?
Oh, good one. Okay, there you go.
What?
All
You
right,
got it?
yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of the experiment, you guys. Hope you're happy.
Oh, I'm happy. Are you happy?
Oh, I'm happy. Here, file this.
So what do we think about episode 0101, The Crawling Eye, the season 1 premiere, the national broadcast premiere of Mystery Science Theater 3000? I do have to admit, it's not quite up to par with the later KTMAs. There, I said it. Now, that's not to say they wouldn't get back into form, because they do, and they do rather quickly, as you will see in later episodes here on season 1. But as for episode 101, strange thing about this episode is it aired once on the Comedy Channel and then never aired again. Not even after Comedy Central. As a matter of fact, it took a while for this episode to even be released to home video. So, but we're glad that it did get released to home video. I just wish that Shout Factory didn't leave one of the frickin' audio tracks behind. Yeah, I'm a bit bitter about that. But next time, we get into episode 0102, the robot versus the Aztec mummy, and we get another new feature on the show, or at least it was new back then. Shorts! But that's coming up in the next episode. For now, I am DJ Particle, and I am signing off. Boom!